Well, speaking of states, on Thursday, the Virginia Supreme Court agreed to hear the case of Peter Vlaming, a high school teacher fired for avoiding the use of personal pronouns to refer to one of his students. The teacher had made a good faith effort to respect the student's beliefs while not violating his own by politely using her chosen name and avoiding using pronouns when possible. But that wasn't enough for the school superintendent. Peter was fired. Well, the Supreme Court now in Virginia is taking up that case. Joining me now to talk about this and more is Meg Kilgannon, Senior Fellow for Education Studies here at the Family Research Council. Meg, welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Tony. It's great to be here.
All right, so I just want to make sure everybody's clear on this. This isn't about the teacher continuing to use a female pronoun to refer to the student. He agreed, look, I'll use the new name that this student is going to go by, but I cannot be a part of this make-believe game and use the pronouns that are biologically incorrect.
That's right. And Mr. Vlaming was a French teacher, and we know that nouns are gendered in French, and they are female or male. So he, in addition to being a wonderful person and a believer, he simply couldn't go along with this farce of calling a girl a boy. He agreed to use the name that she had chosen, but he couldn't call this person by the wrong pronouns. And we're really glad that the Supreme Court has taken up this case. One would think if you read the bios and see the ratings, that we have a leans Republican Supreme Court in Virginia. But as we know, in these cases that involve sexuality issues, gender issues, any kind of issue that relates to the human family, a lot of times we're disappointed with results. So we need to pray for this decision, and I'm hopeful that it will go our way, but you never know.
He is being represented by Alliance Defending Freedom that has a pretty good track record there in Virginia on these types of cases. We're grateful for them and the work that they're doing for teachers. They were very involved there in Loudoun County. So we'll watch this case very closely, praying that it does go the right direction. I was talking earlier about how the legacy media has portrayed the People's Convoy and the freedom convoys that have been going across the country, referring to them, tracking them through researchers who track extremism to try to paint them in that light. We've talked about this, I think last time you were on, we were talking about an article that was portraying parents getting involved in education as being, threats that they, have forced people to get security and all of these hateful emails and such. Well, it's interesting. There's another story out of the AP. And folks, if you think I am against the legacy media, then you're right. I mean, let me just say, full candor, I used to be a reporter. Years ago, I was a television reporter and was a defender. In fact, if you go back and read my first book, excuse me, Meg, I'm getting on my soapbox here for just a moment, but in my first book, Personal Faith, Public Policy, I defended even CNN because there was a time when the media was fair and balanced. But Meg, as we've seen, now they're not any longer. In this AP story, which I know you've read as well, is speaking in glowing terms of a handful of parents who are trying to counter this wave, this tsunami of parents who are saying enough is enough of this crazy gender confusing curriculum in the classrooms, and who they've belittled at every turn, the media has, and now they're trying to puff up these who are trying to stop the banning of these books like Heather Has Two Mommies and so on and so forth.
Well, it shows you how much work they have to do to deny the truth, that they have to unleash the Department of Justice and all of publishing and these sort of AstroTurf moms groups like Red, Wine, and Blue, a group for suburban moms who are for pornography in the library, apparently. It's amazing the lengths that they have to go to respond when parents stand up. It shows you the power that parents have And the fact that that even with everything arrayed against us in the halls of power, from the current administration to many school boards are incredibly progressive and don't share the values of parents, to the legacy media, and this AP article is a classic example. Even with all of those things lined up against us, parents still can make a difference, and they still have to fight us.
And parents are making a difference, and that's the point, is the media is doing everything to dissuade them and discourage them by when they do report it on what these parents are doing, it's negative. But when they report on this minuscule counter voice, as you said, those moms for pornography in the libraries, they speak of them in glowing terms. I mean, bottom line is, Meg, you're seeing it. You're out there training parents to run for school boards. You're equipping them to get FOIA requests. This is a movement, and now is not the time to back up. Change is in the air if we simply will not give up.
It absolutely is. We are hearing every day from people who want to run for their school board and are looking for help to do so, and we're really excited to provide that help. We hear from school board members who are serving on school boards, and maybe they're in the minority of votes, but they want to speak out more and make it harder for the progressive majority on their school boards to do these unconscionable things. And so we're providing them with resources to help them. And the more parents can encourage those people in their own communities, when a school board member sticks their neck out and says, I think we ought to take these books out of the library. These shouldn't be here. They need parents backing them up. Stand with them. Call their office and say thank you. Send them encouraging emails.
Meg, we got to leave it there. We're out of time, but we're going to talk a lot more about this. Folks, thanks so much for joining with us.